Hey guys, Redwood Bullion back here with you. Just want to do a little history about the Wall Street Mint and these 10-ounce bars in honor of, today being the day. So what information I've been able to find is that these ones were the original Type 1 horizontal. You can see how the antenna touches the border like that. In comparison to the remake after the fact, how it doesn't touch. It doesn't touch the border right there. And then if you sit it in between, it's not quite as big. Those are the Type 2 reproductions. I haven't been able to get too much information about how many were actually minted or as far as the original ones. And then the reproductions were also made, and the trademark is now owned by Scottsdale Mint. So then we have these ones, which are the same thing, just a different front face. Still not too much information I've been able to find out about year minting or amount minted even for that fact. These are pretty common. You're seeing now too, just the 2017 ones and years after the fact, and then the rounded loaves of the 10 ounce and 100 ounce ones that are pretty common now being sold. I really like these ones. I got into buying them just as bullion, never as a collector or any of that. I just always got them as bullion price. This one's actually still sealed in the plastic. I'm not sure where. It must be originally from the mint. The rest of these are all sealed in the plastic for the most part, but in the sheet plastic in packages of 9. But this is a reproduction, and then this is the original version, or the Type 1 they call it. Yeah, just a really pretty bar, really nice detailing on it all. Some of them do have rougher edges. I have noticed a lot of them that do come in this type of shrink wrapping tends to tear because they were rough. They weren't as smooth and rounded off as a lot of other 10-ounce bars are. So maybe that's why they switched to then the normal type of plastic that we see nowadays. But still, even with these, like you can see the sides split just a little bit just from the rough edges. Not all of them are like that, but definitely not deburred or poured as perfectly as a lot of the other 10-ounce bars you see nowadays. But to me, I kind of like that. It's kind of a nice appeal. It's kind of nice to have a rough pour, even with such nice fine detail in the whole thing. They actually have been turned out to be, as silver goes, as a pretty good investment, just because they do carry a higher premium than even some of the top tier, just regular 10-ounce bars, or just in general these older ones, because they aren't as easy to come by. The ones that I've seen mostly, when you got a 10-ounce bar going for, say, use eBay prices, going for $250, $260 for a 10-ounce bars, and these ones usually pretty much are always $300 and above. You always got the guys on there that, got something listed for some astronomical price. Like, you want to see something funny, go look at the NTR bar that are on there for sale for $1,400, just because of NTR's history. I'm sure some of you guys could call that guy up and see if he'd buy some of your NTR bars for $800 if he thinks they're actually worth that. But hey, good luck to him if he sells them all. But the more and more of these need to get rare, and just a lot of people do hold on to them as collectors or as collection silver versus just bullion and investment silver. I've always just got them as bullion, and they just ended up being collector silver and having that little bit of an extra premium just because of the story behind it and just the picture that's on the front. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Help me try to get to this 1,000 subscribers. I know it's a new channel. I really appreciate all the subscribers I've gotten and all the views I've gotten so far. Any tips or tricks or hints or anything you can give me, just let me know in the comments below. love a thumbs up and a subscribe. Really would help me out. Get this channel some recognition and get it off the ground. And I'll have to go and bring some new silver in, go deeper into the other stacks and see what's what. I mean, silver seems to be a very, very hot topic nowadays, and I think more and more people are starting to see that it is a very good investment. It's a long play. It's definitely a 3 to 5 year minimum, I would say, especially now with the way prices are at. Premiums are starting to come down a little bit because the old stock is starting to get flushed out. But it's still a very good time to buy, in my opinion. I haven't slowed down on looking for deals and looking for stuff to buy. Now it's more of what I feel I need to stack and what I want to stack and what type of stack are you building. Something that's easily liquid, something that's stuff like this that does have carry more of a premium along the lines and even years down the road to potentially have more value than the same, generic 10-ounce bar sitting next to it. Or if you're just stacking just, regular 10-ounce bullion, just generic bars, which absolutely fine as long as you can get, say, these ones at a good price, because a lot of times it will take, a good 6 months to 18 months sometimes to recover the extra premium on these if you buy them with the higher premium. If you sell them at what the spot price is at the current time, it might take a little bit longer to recover the premiums. Like I said earlier, with it, some of them being on eBay for, just a generic 10-ounce bar going for, say, 25-ish, whatever it is right now. These are usually 300 to 330, give or take who they are, where they're coming from. So just keep that in mind. It might take you a little bit longer if you end up having to liquidate it, if you're just starting out stacking and just trying to save, trying to keep your wealth where it's at and not lose any money but not necessarily make any money, I would just shoot for the just generic mass produced, stuff like this. If it falls in the same category as just generic bullion, just like Buffalo rounds or Buffalo 10-ounce bars, or any of the just normal bulk common bullion that we all see and all have. And I like to diversify a little bit between stuff like this. Obviously I got these a long time ago and I've had them for years, so they've increased in value anyway. But now, like I said, it'll take extra time, even if silver goes up, unless it goes up substantially, for you to recover that little extra premium you're going to pay on something like this, which you also hit a collector market versus just a bullion market. So, could go in your favor for sure. It will probably hurt you if you have to liquidate quick or if you need cash. So this is not what I would not buy stuff like this. If you might possibly be needing quick cash, I would make sure you have a good enough stack of just generic stuff that you're going to pay the lowest premium on. You're going to be able to get rid of it the fastest, the easiest. It comparative to what you put into it versus something like this might take you a little bit longer to get your premiums back out of it. But again, like I said, I like them. I think they're cool. If I find them for the right price, I still grab them. They just are getting harder to find, and more people are adding higher premiums on them, and now it's kind of just trying to get as much generic stuff too as it is now, even with the prices. But some of the even nice stuff, some of the other collector silver, even Engelhard bars that normally have a little bit higher premium, are even starting to come down. Guess it just depends on where you shop. I'm kind of isolated as far as coin shops in the area. There's pretty much none. So it's just basically what comes into the pawn shop, what private party sales, if that ever happens, and just, sometimes online or eBay if I find something specific, like the COVID bars and stuff like that. I never would have gotten one of those or any of those coins or bars by just going through my normal channels that I go through. So that's a little bit of my problem, and it hurts me being able to buy a lot of this stuff. I have to order it all online and all that, but whatever. It is what it is. Keep adding to the stacks. A great time to buy. It has no place to go but up. It might not seem like it in the short term, but in the long term, I mean, a lot of you guys that are out there that got the same channels and have been doing this for a long time, you know what I'm saying. This is a long play. This isn't short term. This is what's gonna be really valuable in 3 to 5 years. And I think I like gold too. Obviously, gold's a very good way to store value. But I think if I had to give my prediction, which based on what I've stacked and put aside, I would say for return for dollar, if you were putting silver dollars in on one side and your profit margin came out on the other side, I think dollar for dollar invested, silver will return a higher dollar return than gold will. It might take a little bit longer, so you have to factor that in too, and how long it's going to take to recover that. But I think silver is going to be one of those metals that is just going to, have that week or overnight where it's just going to pop and start going up 20, 30, 40%, which, that's not that much when compared to silver being $18.63 an ounce right now at the time of this recording. But to go up 20, 30%, you're probably not going to see that in gold overnight or within a week. It's possible, but still, it's, you got to do your cost averaging on that and the amount of dollars you put into 1 ounce of gold, how many ounces of silver can you get for that? And then also, how long of a play are you looking at? Is this something you're trying to be in and out of in a couple of months? Probably not your best thing to get into. But if you got a long time horizon and are willing to wait and got a pocket full of patience, I think silver is the best long play out of those two metals. Then there's other metals that, I got an opinion on of what's really, really going to give you the maximum percentage of return. But I think out of those two, I lean way more towards silver than I do gold. Gold's kind of as most markets are, it just has that value where people don't let it go like they do with diamonds. And I don't think people realize how much silver every year is mined and then just discarded. It's wasted, gone forever, never to be reclaimed, just because it doesn't have that mental value where people are tearing apart computers or cell phones and every little thing they can think of to get the pins out and this and that. It's just not cost effective for silver, which makes sense. Nobody can operate a business at a loss, but because of that, there's been a lot of silver that's mined that is gone, never to be reclaimed. And I think that for us silver stackers that have been doing this for a long time, I've been doing this over 10 years, just kind of hoarding and stacking and piling, because that's the data going off that type of stuff. It's got a lot of uses outside of just investment. And I think once all that stuff really starts to pick up, and with the global economy slowing down and manufacturing, but silver still being used, we're going to hit that little ripple where the demand is going to way outpace the supply there for a little while. And I think that's going to make it shoot up, and then all the other competing factors, China and Russia wanting to make their own metal exchange and all that stuff. So I think silver has a lot more upside when it really comes down to it. And like I said, it's a lot cheaper to get into. If you want to really get into precious metals and you're just starting, it's a lot easier to come up with $25-$30 here or there, or a couple $100 here or there, and just slowly over time build it up, versus trying to do the same with silver or with gold and having to buy like 10th ounce coins where you're paying an extremely high premium on them. It's going to take you even longer to get your money back. And silver, gold has to go up a good amount. If you're paying a couple $100 an ounce over spot price, and you want to make some money on it, that's got to go up to say $2,000 an ounce just for you to even start breaking even. which isn't a bad thing if you get the same amount of money back a year later as you spent the year before, even with the inflation and all that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of a good parking spot for money. But as far as like a heavy return or a higher return, I do think that silver is where it's at. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd really like to hear other people's thoughts. You know, I don't get to hear what a lot of other people think about it all, and as far as just silver investing versus gold investing, and most people seem to kind of be on a little bit of both sides of it, or very, very heavily into one and not the other. So yeah, let me know below, and I'd love a thumbs up and a subscribe if you like this content, and anything else, just let me know. I'd love to add it in. If you got any, and if anybody knows any more history about these Wall Street mint bars, I'd love to know some more, just out of curiosity. Like I said, the last I could see is that the trademark name is now owned by Scottsdale Mint. But other than that, not really much information that I could glean. Even the Silver Forum didn't really have much. Looked around this morning for just some history on this video that I knew I was going to make, and that's about all that I could really find. Not a ton like I had hoped for or thought there would be over, you know, an iconic bar, or a very iconic picture in the Twin Towers and the skyline. So, you know, and notice with the new ones, they only have one in there from the news. So yeah, any history you guys know about it, love to hear about it below. So all right, appreciate your time. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if this is a good video and you like it and want to hear more.